and welcome back to another recap. We are analysing round 10 of the Olympiad. I was playing against Yaleika from Panama, who was 1832, and Ireland drew the match 2-2. I think we were actually higher rated, if I remember correctly, and maybe we weren't too happy about the draw. I was definitely not happy about my draw. So a little bit of background. I was preparing. Actually, she didn't have many games, and actually, I was preparing to play the Benko Gambit because she usually played c4. She's never played knight f3 and g3. But previously in the tournament, I played against the woman from Zimbabwe, and in my game against the woman from Zimbabwe, she played this system with knight f3, g3, which she had played before. So she had obviously prepared that game, which is kind of, I guess I should have expected, well, not expected, but I should have been prepared for that, because usually I don't think that they would directly prepare with a specific game unless they play that line. So if she already played g3, then of course I would look at that game, but I would think that it's much harder to just prepare a whole new opening, because I could also play something else. It's not guaranteed that I'll play the same thing. But I think we went into something similar, and then things changed a bit. So it's not the exact same game, but the first few moves I think are very similar. So I was preparing against... I was preparing to play a Benko Gambit, but it didn't work out, so because she played something different. So we have... I guess just a g3 setup. I don't think you can call this the Catalan without c4. But I could be mistaken. So I guess the openings book says that this is called Indian game. But I guess just fianchettoing your bishop here. So c5, if she takes, then I can just win the pawn back by playing queen a5 and queen takes c5. So she didn't take. Oh yeah, so here I was expecting d5, because you don't really want to allow black to capture, or c3. But she played bishop out, so now she just let me take, which is kind of... which is kind of good for black, I would say. So she took back with the knight, I developed my bishop. So far this is all normal. c4, and now I played knight c6. So I guess I have to decide here where my pieces are going to go. And I'm going to struggle to develop this bishop here, because the light square bishop is directly attacking b7. So maybe I can play a6 and queen c7 and develop it that way, and then I'm protecting the pawn. I guess a6 would be because of knight b5. So I don't play queen c7, allowing knight b5 maybe. But actually here I can also play d5 and just have completely symmetrical position. I was really frustrated about this game, because you'll see she just played for a draw the whole game, even though she was better later on. And there was not much that I could do. So I played knight c6. So she actually took the knight quite quickly here. Well, not quickly, I guess she spent 3 minutes. But probably I don't think she should have taken. I think maybe knight c3 would have been better. Because if I take, then she'll just take back with the queen, and I don't have any good discovered attacks. I mean, if I do that, then she'll just take. If I do this, she'll just take. So my only discovered attacks would be knight e8 and knight h5. And then she'll just move her queen, and then my knight is misplaced. So I guess it's scary sometimes to have your queen on a bishop's diagonal, but if there are no good discovered attacks, then there's no issue with it, because I'll move and attack the queen. She will move her queen probably like maybe d3. And now I'm going to end up spending another move moving my knight, and she's still got to develop her queen. So I've actually helped her maybe a little bit. Yeah, so I don't think she should have rushed to take, because this knight on d4 is actually quite a well-placed knight. So she took, and here I took with the b-pawn. So I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't actually spend too much time. I wish I would have spent more time. I did consider taking with the d-pawn, but I thought that if I take with the d-pawn, I'm gonna allow a queen trade, and then I thought that she would just develop her knight, develop her bishop, and then trade rooks, and I thought that this is just making the position even more symmetrical. But actually, this is good for black, because I have this move, bishop e6, which I didn't think about. I didn't think too deeply about, because I'm attacking her pawn, and the only way she can defend the pawn is to play b3. But now this diagonal opens up, and it's now winning for black. So black can now just move the knight out of the way. I can move it anywhere, really. So let's say knight g4. I'm attacking the knight. The knight can't move because then I take the rook. So she has to defend her knight like this by developing her bishop. And now I have this move, rook d2. So I'm going to actually win some material here. She has to defend her bishop. If she moves it, I take the knight. So after she defends, I can just take her bishop and then take the knight. And now I have 2 pieces for a rook, which is just much better. Especially these bishops are really strong. And this bishop is okay, but it's not as strong as this dark square bishop. So, yeah, I guess I misevaluated maybe how strong my position would be if the queens were traded. And if she doesn't trade queens, let's say if she just plays queen c2, I am ahead in development, and I can also play bishop f5, maybe attacking her, but I guess she has e4. So if I play bishop f5 here, then maybe she can play here. So maybe I don't want to allow that. But I guess, I mean, this is still equal. So everyone got sick after the Olympiad, so I'm recovering from a cough. But yeah, it would have been actually objectively better to take with the d-pawn, but I thought it was too symmetrical because I'm just going to have the same pawn structure. So I took with the b-pawn, and I thought that, well, I'll just play d5 and e5 later on, and I have 2 central pawns. So she developed her queen. I played queen c7. Maybe I could have actually just played d5 immediately. And then if the pawn takes, just take with the pawn, and yeah, I can just develop my bishop to f5. Now e4 doesn't work anymore because I have the d5 pawn, and then just play rook c8. So actually this looks really good. I don't know why I played queen c7. Oh, I played queen c7 because I didn't want to allow this. I didn't want to allow rook d1. And now if I play bishop f5, if she plays e4, I guess I can actually just take it because I have my bishop. And if she takes with the queen, then I'm just gonna okay, I'm an exchange up, so I'm not a full rook up, I'm an exchange up. I mean, still completely winning. So bishop f5 is actually good here. I guess the queen has to move somewhere, and now I have a lot of space, and I'm gonna have an opportunity to move my queen next anyways. Okay, so d5, yeah, would have been better here. Anyways, I played queen c7. Some of my moves here won't make a lot of sense, maybe, now looking back on them. So I played a5 because I wanted to bring my bishop to a6. I don't know why I didn't play d5, because initially that was my plan. That's why I took with the b pawn to play d5. So here again I could have just played d5. I don't know why I didn't. Oh wait, I do know why I didn't. I didn't because I can't take back with the pawn because my queen is hanging. So I have to take with the knight, and then I'm attacking the rook, but she can just play bishop b2. So I actually, yeah, I didn't like that position so much, so that's why I didn't play d5. So I played a5 and wanted to bring my bishop out here. She developed her bishop. I brought my bishop out as well. She developed her knight, and yeah, this position, I was trying to do something, but it was just very equal. She brought her rook to c1. Yeah, and here, this is the move which I regretted straight after I moved it. So how long did I spend? Yeah, I spent 3 minutes. So my plan is to play d5. And I need to move my queen out of the way in order to do that, because when the pawn takes, I don't want my queen to be... Well, I'm gonna lose a piece. So, a rook, I guess. So pawn takes, queen takes, rook takes, and then rook takes. So I need to move my queen out of the way so that my rook can be the one hitting the queen. But I have to choose where to bring the queen. So I have these squares to choose from. The reason why I chose b8 is because I wanted to play bishop b7 and queen a8. So this was my plan. But immediately after, I regretted it because I think it would have been more useful on a7. And later on, you'll see why. But from a7, it's just a bit more active. This diagonal is more useful than this one. And also, I can still create the same plan, and I just am controlling more squares. I can also still I can still protect the 7th rank, which I think is important later on. But also another reason why I want to play b8 is because when I play rook c8, maybe I was thinking, I don't know, maybe I was thinking of bringing my queen to c8. I can't exactly remember, but yeah. Queen b8 is a move that I regret playing. Or regretted playing after I made the move. Okay, so now I'm able to play d5, because I have my rook here now. So here she played e5 almost immediately. Well, I guess she spent 3 minutes, but she was planning on playing e4. So my pawn structure I thought was great, but now all of a sudden I'm having some problems with it, because if I take here, I am left with this isolated pawn. If I take here, I'm still, again, left with the isolated pawn. I can't push it because she'll just take it. And if I let her take, I guess I can... Oh, sorry. If I let her take, she's also threatening to take on e7. So I played e6 to protect my pawn. And now she played queen b1, so she doesn't want her queen on this file. I played my rook to d8, just bringing my rook from f8 onto a better file. So she took my pawn, I took... and now I have to choose what to take back with. So I can take with the pawn or the knight. If I take with the pawn, I thought that now I'll just have this isolated pawn. Even though it's a passed pawn, I thought that it's more of a target and it's easy for her to have a plan here. She just brings her pieces on the d file, her rook's on the d file. She also has this excellent move, which I was expecting that she was going to play, but she didn't play it. So anyways, I took with the knight because I didn't want the isolated pawn. But again, this position is just equal. Like I I can't really do anything. She just traded immediately. She just traded. So, actually here, sorry, she took here, but I was expecting queen a1. And if she would have played queen a1, she's threatening to take my knight. I can't defend my knight, so I have to move my knight to h5 to defend this bishop. And I really didn't like this position. I thought maybe she can take, knight takes, and her queen is just so strong on this diagonal, and my dark squares are quite weak. And maybe this knight can be dangerous somehow if she manages to get it to g4. Yes, she has a few moves here. But I didn't really like that, so I was surprised that she didn't play queen a1. So, anyways, yeah. Actually, I was quite happy she didn't play queen a1, but I was still annoyed that she was trading everything off. So, she gave a check, and then she traded my rook as well. So, everything is just coming off, and now she brought her knight in to e4. So, I guess my knight is really important here now, because if I move my knight, she's threatening check, and then discovered check, and then maybe queen g7. So it's very uncomfortable. And if I play king f8, then she takes here, so I have to play here, and it's just going to be checkmate. So I have to keep my knight there. So I guess her plan is something like this, to sacrifice maybe. So I brought my queen to c7. I don't want her to play queen c1 and trade another pair of pieces. But she decided to trade the bishop. I didn't even consider this move because I thought it's just strange to want to give up this bishop when it's an amazing bishop, I guess. But it also makes sense if you're just so happy with the draw. So once she played bishop f1, I was... Yeah, I spent 3 minutes deciding whether I can maybe keep this bishop on, but it's just not good to keep it on because now she can bring the bishop to c4 and then she can offer to trade it for this knight, and then this knight is really strong. So yeah, she took with the king. I was hoping she would take with the rook, but yeah, because then I can play queen c2 and I have a double attack here. Well, I guess she will have to trade, and then I get my rook on a great square. But if she takes with the king, now when I play queen c2, she doesn't have to take my queen. So here I thought she would just play queen a1, but I guess my queen is still on a great square, so maybe I could have just played queen c2. I should have just played queen c2. Oh, sorry, no. Sorry. The difference is that when I play queen c2, she can play her rook here, and it's defended by the king, whereas if she takes with the rook, then when I play queen c2, she doesn't have rook d2. Sorry, e2. So that's the difference. So that's why I didn't play queen c2, because I thought that it would make life easier for her. So I played h5, wanting to play h4. She moved her queen, and now I played queen c2, because now this queen is threatening to come in here, knight g5, and then it's checkmate almost. I guess it's not checkmate yet, but it's just very dangerous. So played queen c2, she traded, and then she played rook here. And here, I wish this tactic worked, but I was trying to make this work, f5, and then once the knight moves, I have knight c3 check, and then I take this pawn, but she can just play knight here, and then she's attacking this pawn. And then when I give a check and take this one, she can just take this one. And her knight is better placed than my knight, and her king is closer to this pawn. And it doesn't look very good for me, or it doesn't look very easy to... She's the one who's putting the pressure on. So far, this game had no real chances yet, because she was just so happy to trade everything. So I tried to create something here, put her rook on a worse were square and then just brought my rook back. I didn't want to trade rooks just yet. She put her rook back, and now I played a4. So if she takes the pawn, then I would have played knight f4, put my knight on a better square, and then these pawns are quite weak, so eventually they would drop. So she didn't take, she just played king here. I brought my king up as well. Again, if she takes, these pawns are just weak. Sorry, and not only that, if she takes, there's also a fork, so that's why she moved her rook out of the way. So I took, she took, and then I played a4. So I'm getting rid of my isolated pawn. If she takes, then I can just play... if she takes, then I can play rook here, and then I pick up the pawn. So she defended it. I kicked her knight. Okay, she moved her knight out of the way, and then she brought her knight back. Here, yeah, we were getting very low on time. It's move 35 though, so we have 5 moves. I think this is the only game that we made time control in. So you get 30 minutes after 40 moves, and we're on move 35 right now. And it's the only game in the Olympiad in 11 rounds. Well, I guess I only played 9. In 9 rounds that I made it past 40 moves. So here I played a3. I didn't want to take and just give her this passed pawn. And what I thought was that when I play a3, then maybe I'll be able to take this pawn on a2, and then my pawn will be really strong. So a3, I don't know, it kind of backfired in a bit. So, okay, she's attacking my rook. I have to move my rook out of the way. She's also protecting this square, which is kind of annoying. So I played rook here. I also really felt the pressure here, so I hate being under 10 minutes. And this is where time pressure gets to me. It's not 2 minutes, but under 10 minutes, I can't think. And I just see the clock ticking, and then I feel like I have no time. So, I think rook a6 is a bit passive, though. Maybe I should have just played rook c5. Because she can't play b4, I'll just take it. I was just paranoid about this pawn being attacked. So here she attacked my pawn with the knight. Now I just pushed g5. She's able to push b4, and now she's attacking here. Yeah, and I wasn't really sure what to do. So I can't defend the pawn again, but I guess I'm attacking this pawn. So if she takes with the rook, then I can take the rook, and then I take here, and now she can't defend this pawn, so I'll be a pawn up. And that's kind of what happened in the game. But I thought she could push a bit more, so she defended her pawn. Now she's threatening to take with the knight. I brought my king back to chase this annoying pass pawn that is just starting to come down the board. And here, I thought she could have just continued pushing. I don't know why she didn't continue pushing. Because if I play king c6 now, it's game over. Because I can't stop this pawn. So I have to play king c8. And she can continue with b7. And then I have to play king b8. And this pawn is just really uncomfortable. And now she can just take this. So, objectively, maybe this is equal. If we put the evaluation on, it's equal. But I was really worried about this position. I only have 3 minutes. I guess we made time control, so I would have had 30 minutes, but I feel like this position is much easier, especially, I guess if this knight moves, then I take the a-pawn, but maybe she can play rook here, move her knight, and then if she starts pushing this a-pawn, yeah, I'd be really worried. So I don't know why she didn't just push the pawn. Instead, she just took here and went for this trade, which I was really happy about because I thought that I would just win a pawn, which I did, but it's not enough. So she took, now I got this nice fork, and now I had to make a decision which pawn to take. I really wasn't sure. If I take this one, she has an outside pass pawn, I guess. And it's harder for me to get to it with my king, or it will take longer. So I thought that I would take the a pawn, and now my king is closer to this one. But it's still not enough because she's going to end up threatening my g pawn. So she brought her king out. I attacked her pawn as well. And now she just gave this check, and she's looking to play something like this and then attack g5. So I move my king out of the way. She played g4, fixing my pawn so that when she attacks it, I can't push it. Yeah, and here it's kind of annoying. It's just a dead draw. If I take, she takes, this will drop. If I push, again, she can just play knight here. And now it's, maybe it's even better for white. So she can, after I take here, she can take here, and now she has the passed g pawn. So I don't want to let that happen. So I just took here anyway, knight f7. I gave it a random check that didn't really help, check, but this is just, this is just a dead draw. So here I offered her a draw and she just accepted, but I was just annoyed that she had prepared, I don't know necessarily that she prepared a draw, but it seemed like she was happy to have a draw from early on in the game, and it's never nice when that happens when you want to put up a fight, but I guess you have less control when you're black and the position is just equal. So maybe my opening choice wasn't the best. But this was round 10. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next recap. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!